Hello everyone, Xanero Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in today's video we are going to be talking Digimon, right? I am super excited for the newest set that we are getting, which is called EX10 Sinister Order. It is all the cool bad guys that you know and love. Some new ones, some old cards getting support, maybe some old archetypes getting some revamps, and then like I said, some new cards as well. Now, I am super excited about this set. Probably the most excited I've been for a set in a long time. I really can't recall. I was really excited about the DM stuff, but if you don't know me very well, I am a very avid Blackwood Greymon fan. Even the art, I kept it up here bigger on the thing, is based off of like Blackwood Greymon, a kind of mixture of that. So I am super passionate about this set. So what I wanted to do about this one is just to go in a little bit of detail, go through the set, let's have some fun. I'm going to break down some of the cards, give you guys my thoughts on them. I don't think the entire set is released at the moment, but I think there's enough for us to have a little fun to go over it, right? But on digimoncard.dev, you can just go straight on here. It has all the different sets for you, so this is a useful tool that I think a lot of people can use to, you know, like if you want to figure out what is in a set, do deck building, this site has it all and is one of my favorites, so I did want to give them a shout out before going through the video. But let me get my face off of here. And now we can focus on the cards. Let's move this guy, since he is the star in my eyes anyways. Alright, so in this set, like I said, this is a set for the bad guys, essentially. Most of the bad guys are getting support. There are a couple cards in this set that can give you a couple other things outside the bad guys, but it is mainly meant around the bad guys, and it is some of my favorite ones, like I said before. Blackwood Greymon being one of my favorite Digimons, if not the favorite Digimon. And then the Dark Masters, if you don't know who those are, please watch the show. The Dark Master part of the adventure show is so absolutely insanely cool. After they, it's not really spoilers, after they beat Myotismon or Venomyotismon, who it was. Quartzmon, also probably my second favorite like Digimon cards in the game. I love Quartzmon, so to see us have an ace here is really cool. But just going through, just kind of getting some ideas. We got some Agumon support, and that is obviously for the Blackwood Greymon ace. Some Creepymon support for the players who like to try to make you know, mill decks work. Like I said before, Myotismon being the big bad guy from Adventures, and then the Dark Masters. We got a couple of new Link cards coming in with the Weatherdramon. And then, oh my god, the art for the Minimon is so cute and amazing. I love this aesthetic. Amazing art. And then the Warudamon, which has obviously a beautiful, cool art, kind of giving you witchy vibes, kind of like Demi-Devimon, but wow, her alt art is next level. This is such a beautiful, cool card. I can't wait to play with this card. But going through this, you got some more support for Belphimon cards here. This Belphimon Rage Mode alt art looking pretty sick. Obviously, like I said, I mentioned the Quartzmon before, and then more Link support and more Rock support, which is really awesome to see. I do think that now with more rock support in this new line for the Mineral Rock deck and a new level 6, I think a lot of people are going to be hyped up about this deck. I do think that the rocks will start to, you know, show out and really do some new stuff with their new level 6 and 7. And then we also do have the Bagra Army as another archetype that it is getting support. And I think that Bagra Army might actually finally be a deck you can play and it not be like trolly. Like, I think you can do some cool, you know, control shenanigans with Bagra, or do like a swarmy type of deck. One of my buddies at the shop, him and I have been bouncing some ideas back and forth between each other about some different things to do. And then we have some Gamamon support, a light package of Gamamon in here, having his dark line in here, which is why it's the purple line with the Gulus Gamamon and then the Regulusmon. And I didn't think that there was Alturismon too. No, just a Regulusmon, but this is like the new boss monster for the deck. Like I said, Venomyotismon, Tactimon, Bagramon, all part of the Bagra Army, and the Dark Masters are the stars of the show for sure. But the secret rares, I think, are going to be... Did we get both of them released? Oh my god, what is going on here? Uh-oh. I think I clicked on an ad. Sorry, I had it in the full screen mode. I thought it was just maybe it's just a Pokemon. Yeah, that is the only secret rare. He's just a super rare too. Who is the secret rare? Huh. Maybe we don't know who the secret rare is. Oh, that's not true. Yeah, the Deucemon. So the new Link guy is going to be the secret rare, and then the Beelzemon Ace. Beelzemon Ace. Not Beelzemon Blast Mode Ace, because we do have that guy out already, but Beelzemon Ace being the 2 secret rares, which makes sense. Deucemon being really, really amazing Link card. Very interesting they give Deucemon the Link card as a secret rare, but then our other Link Digimon that we got before just ended up being a super rare in the set, but the Deucemon is a pretty iconic bad guy for the show. And then obviously everyone loves their edgelord gunslinger himself, Beelzemon Ace. So I kind of went through all the different archetypes going through it, and I do want to kind of touch on some cards that I think are important for y'all, right? Like, I am really, really excited for this set. The alt arts are insane. This Beelzemon Ace alt art being the Akita kind of scene is so freaking cool. And it lets you warp on top of your Impmons, but let's go ahead and break it down, right? Like, what does this secret rare do? Blast Digivolve, and it also says Digivolve while you have 20 or more cards in your trash on top of a level 3 Impmon and name, cost of 4. So you can also warp Digivolve into it, and since it just says Digivolve, you can warp Blast Digivolve, because Blast Digivolve just means meeting any of your other mechanics for Digivolve, and so if you have 20 more cards in your trash, you can Blast Digivolve this on top of an Impmon. And then it has an on-play when Digivolve when attacking, not once per turn. Trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then delete one of your opponent's play cost 6 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards you trash, add 3 to the play cost maximum. It going up by 3 is wild, because already at 6 play cost, you're not beating up a lot of other aces. But by the time you get into this Beelzemon Ace, you should have, 10 cards in the trash. So really you're beating down a play cost 9, which is really relevant. That's every ace in the game. Most level 5s in the game are going to be other than that, and then some level 6s are even, but not really. So that's really good, just being able every turn be able to do that, because it's not once per turn, it's not only when Digivolving. Like, you're going to play this down, you're going to get value, and then it has more on play when Digivolve. You have 10 or more cards in your trash. By returning 2 non-Digi egg cards from your trash to the top of your deck, Digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon. So you can choose to stack this up, put the 10 cards, put the 2 cards, sorry. If you have 10 or more, you can do this. So you have to mill some and then get value. They don't let you just do it at the start of the game. Put 2 back, and this also keeps you from decking out in Beelzemon decks, which is a humongous issue a lot of the decks have, is decking yourself out before you actually deck your opponent out on that sequential turn if you don't win the game. But being able to Digivolve 2 and then trash 2 and then delete is wild. It's going to be such a good card. I can't wait to throw this in my Beelzemon deck. I think that this card is exactly the support that Beelzemon needed, because before this, I think the other ones were cool too. Like the Digivolve one that we got previously helped the deck out a lot, but I think that this Beelzemon Ace helps put the deck back into a highly competitive tier, because now you can warp Digivolve. Now you have an ace that gets both on-play effects. It's really, really strong, and I wouldn't be surprised if you saw this card kind of going in some toolboxy black or purple decks that just want to run a lot of aces like this and then just go into level 7s. This card is definitely one of the best cards to come out of the set, and I love that it is a secret rare. And obviously the regular art is pretty sick too, because it's hard not to look cool as Beelzemon. Now, what is the other secret rare doing? It is the Deucemon. Now, if you don't know, this is an Appmon, and it is one of the, I think, oh my god, my lore. I love Digimon lore, but I'm not the best with it because it is so many. I think there's 6 different god app Digimon, and he is one of them. He's one of the darker sided one. I think that 2 are good, 2 are dark, and then 2 are like neutral in that kind of scenario. But regardless of that, it does app fusion from the Warudomon and the Cometmon, which we will see coming up earlier. On the top of this, I'm going to do the secret rares first, but he does have security tap +1 and link +1, meaning that it can be linked by 2 different cards, and it just has that base security tap +1 being so strong, and 13,000 DP, so you get to app fusion for free, bring this out, or you can just Digivolve it on any black level 5, or any of your Ultimate 5 Appmons. So any app deck can still run this card. I love that they do that in these decks, so that way that you can universally use all your Appmons. But Deucemon does say, when Digivolve end of opponent's turn, you may link 1 card from your hand to this Digimon without paying the cost. Then you may link 1 Digimon card from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to this Digimon without paying the cost. So you Digivolve into this guy, you get to then link 2 different cards, which is so amazing. You can link 1 from your hand to it, and then take 1 of its linked Digimon cards from its Digivolution cards, and then you may link 1 Digimon card from the Digimon Digivolution card to this Digimon without paying cost. Yeah, so you get 2 cards linked to it when you Digivolve, and at the end of your opponent's turns. So Really, really strong. You digivolve, you get those effects, and then your opponent's turn comes around, you do it again, which is insane being able to control the board like that. I am super excited for this Deucemon. I think it really adds to a new dynamic of Atmons being able to control your opponent. And then it also says all turns once per turn. When effects trash any of this Digimon's link cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. That is pretty good. So you're able to, you know, all turns once per turn do this effect. You delete one of your opponent's Digimon at the lowest play cost. If they only have one big Digimon on the board, you just delete that Digimon. Really powerful boss Digimon for the archetype, and both arts look really sick. I actually kind of like the regular one a little bit better, but a really powerful boss Digimon. Now, we are getting some option supports for different cards. I'm not going to go into them too much. The Spiral Mountain is support for the Dark Masters. You're going to have to run that at 4 of. Paradise Lost is just a support for some of your Lucamon decks. The Godgrade Unleash is the new Atmon card, which is really, really good for the archetype. And then these unique emblems are insane. I do want to touch on this one because I think this one helps make the Rock Mineral deck just so good. It just says main. It costs 3 to use it. Play one Sonorizamon or close from your hand, or trash without paying the cost. Very relevant that you don't have to get this out of your hand, and now you can just get value out of your trash since you are fragmenting and trashing so many cards anyways in the first place, right? And then your turn, when any of your closes suspend, delay one of your mineral or rock trait Digimon, may digivolve into a Digimon card with the mineral and liberal traits in the hand with the digivolution cost reduced by 3. That is so good because you're going to use your closest effect, tap her to get the effect to put 1, and then now that Digimon can then digivolve for reduced cost of 3 and not passing your turn, which has been an issue with the deck. Being able to go into your level 6 and not pass the turn is kind of hard sometimes, so I think the unique emblem does a lot for it. And I definitely have to talk about the king of the show, Digimon Emperor, or also treated as Ken Ichijoji. I love that this probably doesn't come up too much, but it is really, really cool that they put the text on the card because we know who this is. He can't fool us with his hair being dyed colors and, you know, put gelled up in it, looking cool like that. We know you're Ken, bro. You can't help it. But at the start, it costs 5, which is a lot, right? But it comes with a very hefty, powerful on-play effect. It says, on play, delete one of your opponent's play cost 5 or lower Digimon, which is kind of the theme of Digimon Emperor being able to rule over all the kind of smaller level Digimons, and in the show making them have to go a little bit higher level to be able to combat him. But it says, delete one of your opponent's play cost 5 or lower Digimon, then by returning one Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, so you then give them a source back to the bottom of the deck, from your hand or trash and without paying the cost. So hand or trash, don't pay the cost. You may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card with the same color as the card this effect returned. Now this is going to be very interesting. I wish that maybe it wasn't that specific. I may be missing something here that's going to make that a little bit harder to do. But in the Chimeramon deck, you do run a couple different colors, so I think that will help the deck out a lot. But in like Machinedramon and other stuff like that, the DM things, we'll have to see how good this card is. But just being able to blow up something, you can do that. And then the other effect is optional, that you get to play something. But hopefully you'll be able to. And then he also says at the start of your main phase, for every 2 colors your opponent's Digimon Tamers have, you gain a memory. So that's for every 2. If they have 4 colors, you gain 2 memory. 2 colors, 1 memory. And to be honest, I do think that this is a much more relevant effect than people get it credit for. I've seen a lot of people hating on this card being like, oh, this only counters the adventure deck. Well, yeah, it's supposed to counter the adventure deck because that's just thematic, but a lot of colors come up in the game, right? Like, just look at this set alone. This Tamer right here, double colors. A lot of this option, double colors. Or didn't like this Digimon, double color, double colors. So double colors are really prevalent in the game. I think you'll always get that memory in most of your matches. Now, we do have, you know, like I said, the new Ryoma, which is going to help out with the Quartzmon. I'm not going to go over every single card, like I said, but I do want to touch on them. Obviously, the Kurata being your Belphimon support, the Yukio Okawa being the support for the new Midosmon stuff. The Yu Amano and Nene are really, really cool, and I do kind of want to touch on this one because I do want to highlight Bagra Army stuff so people can really get hyped up for it, because I think people are sleeping on Bagra Army and the Twilight deck stuff. So, start your main phase by placing 1 Bagra Army or Twilight trait Digimon card from your hand or trash on this Tamer. Draw 1. That is so good because a lot of times they're going to be in your trash, and then you just get to draw a card, which is really, really good. All turns when any of your Bagra Army or Twilight trait Digimon cards with Digicross requirements will be played by suspending this Tamer 1 card from under your tamers, and 1 card of your trash may also be placed for the Digicross. So take a card from your trash, take a card from this tamer, Digicross, so you don't have to waste your hand. And I do think that this tamer will probably be a 4 of in all of your Dark Nightmon, Twilight, Bogger Army decks, because it is really, really important, and I think that it's such a good generic effect to keep you from wasting your hand, which is the issue both of those decks have, is that you're playing out your hand and then just to get value, but now you don't have a hand refill, whereas now you play the card one time, it costs the 2 sources, they'll go to the trash, you'll get one of them back underneath this tamer, and you can use the other one to cycle through. So I think this is a really, really important tamer for everyone to keep track of. We do have the new Liberator, or the Appmon driver guide. This is the guy who has the secret rare in the set. This is going to be the Appmon Leviathan Tamer. Only a 3 play cost. He does look really, really cool. Eugen Ozora. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. Start of your main phase. So good. We've seen that effect be really, really relevant and important. And then all turns, when effects trash any of your Digimon's link cards by suspending this tamer, you draw a card. End of your turn, once returned, one of your Digimon may app fuse into a Digimon card in the hand. So you can play him down, then do the app fusion. So good. You trash something from your link effects, you get to suspend him to draw a card, refuel your hand. Gonna be a really good guy for that particular deck. But let's start touching on some of these big boss monsters. So we have the big Apocalymon from the set. I'm not going to touch on any of the Dark Masters. They all have similar effects that say on play or when attacking, do this thing. And then from your hand, you can reduce their play cost. And they all have on deletion. You put them face up at the bottom of your security. That's essentially what they all do. They have some kind of same thing like that. And then they all say in security, if it's face up, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Dark Masters and its text from your hand or trash without paying the cost. So they all kind of say that thing. They all just do different effects. But the Apocalymon is where it all comes together. Love the art here on the Apocalymon. Seeing him at the top, obviously having all the stuff around him. It digivolves on your level 6 Dark Master trait cost of 5, which is really good. A lot of times you're not going to be building up into these, and they all say that if you do play them, you have to, you have to delete them at the end of the turn, so that's always not great, because if you digivolve a Pokemon on top of them, well, your Pokemon is that Digimon, it would have to die. So you're usually not going to digivolve this guy. But it does say, when this card would be played by placing 1 of each face-up Dark Master trait card with different names to your security stack underneath this card, reduce the play cost of 4 for each card play. That is really cool, because you're going to try to get all 4 of the Dark Masters put into your security. But if people are hitting your security, you're not going to have them up there. So it's going to be really hard to get a big play cost of this. I'm not happy with this effect. I really wish that they would have made this from the trash or in your security. And I think that this card would have been a million times better. But they hate on our Dark Master cards. They really, really do, and I'm really upset about it. 17 play cost, 16,000 DP. So in the best world, for 8, you're able to reduce it by 16 for a play cost of 1. And then it says, on play, when Digivolving, you may play 1 of each Dark Master trait card with different names from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. Then all of your Dark Master trait Digimon gain Rush for the turn. At turn end, delete the Digimon this effect played, right? So you're going to delete those Digimon, and then they will go back to your security on deletion, which is really, really cool, getting the cycle back. But I don't know how, we'll have to see more support in the set, what this deck could do. But I am really, really hyped for it. Apocalymon is one of my favorite bad guys, and I love the Dark Masters so much. So I hope it does end up being, pretty good. Now, I do need to touch on the Venom by Otismon, because he's really, really cool too, being one of the main bad guys in the show that the Tamers had to overcome. Very iconic Digimon. Trash main. Really cool effect here, right? Play cost 12,000 DP, Digivolve on a level 5 green or purple for 4. Trash main effect. By deleting one of your level 5 or lower Digimon, or level 5 Digimon, specifically level 5, sorry. By deleting one of your level 5. So that is a little inhibiting, but we do know that the Mummymon and the Myotismon, they all kind of are level 5s and they want to be deleted anyways. You can reduce the play cost by 7. So you can delete one of them to play this card for 5, which is not a bad trade-off since you're playing at level 6 down. But in most cases, aces only cost 7, so I would have been a little bit happier if it had been reduced maybe to 4. So that way it's not so hard to not have to pass your turn. But on play, when Digivolving. So you get it on play or when Digivolving. You may suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon Tamers, then 2 of their Digimon Tamers can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. That is a really good effect, being able to stun those two things down and they don't unsuspend, which is really good. And then if your opponent does have some way to clear him, he says on deletion, delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Really, really good. In a lot of cases, you're going to have a way to give him like retaliation and stuff too. So you can swing through one of your opponent's big Digimon and then delete one of their other suspended Digimon. Very good control boss monster for your Myotismon decks. I think that this one just really outshines every other Myotismon that we have now as a boss monster, because this just a trash effect. Being able to get value off of him in your trash is really, really good. I do need to touch on the Regulusmon. Like I said, I think that this is a key card for the deck. This is your new boss monster. I'm going to be completely honest. You could run Gamamon and make this guy your boss monster. You don't have to do anything else. If you still want to run like a random level 6 in here, you can. But this guy is crazy. 10 play cost, 10,000 DP. Digivolves for 5 on your level 4 purple or red. It digivolves for 5 for a reason. And then it also has to digivolve for 5 on any level 4 Gamamon. But this comes with a very powerful effect. It does have an inheritable your turn once per turn when any of your opponent's Digimon delete a gain in memory. So if you do decide to get on top of him, at least you get some value for it. But he has Rush and Blocker, which is really, really good. And then on play, when digivolving, you may place up to 5 differently named cards with Gamamon in their names from your trash as this Digimon's Bob Dissolution cards. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. Placing 5 sources makes him the entire engine alone. You play him down from your hand, you don't care what it costs you, because you're going to get all the sources you need in him, which is hopefully going to be Blitz. We know that we have an inheritable to give him Blitz, so it's going to be a Blitz, Rush, Blocker, really, really good, maybe even Reboot. This card, just that alone is really, really good. You could just put all the sources you need to on him, delete whoever you want to, because you're going to boost him up probably to 15,000, so a couple cards get around that. But end of your turn, once per turn, if this Digimon has 5 or more Digivolution cards, it may attack without suspending. Like, we've seen this effect be so good on other red cards that they've given us in the game, and this guy is the new star of the show for the Gamamon deck. I promise you, do not sleep on this card. It's a super rare for a reason. I think that going forward, Gamamon decks can just run this as their boss monster and find a really good state of being this hyper aggro raid, rush, retaliation, pop your Digimon stuff. This guy is so amazing, and I'm really happy for any of the Gamamon fans out there, as few as there probably are of you guys. Now, we see through all the different purple support. I'm not going to go through every card, like I said, but you can see here all the cute, like, new Link monsters that we're getting. This is just a searcher for the Leviathan, Atmon stuff. We got new Devimon, new Wizardmon, the Gulus Gamamon. Like I said, pretty cool card going into the new deck. I will touch up on this one. Digivolve for 2 on your Gamamons, or 3 on red or purples. On play, when Digimon trash top 2 cards of your deck, then you may place 1 Digimon card with Gamamon in its name from your trash as Digimon's bottom Dissolution card, which is really good. Self-fueling these sources, right? Like, this makes a lot of sense. I'm glad they're finally doing this for Gamamon. Trash stuff, get stuff in the trash, get value from it to put underneath your Digimon, which pertains to the purple kind of red playstyle, right? And then your turn, what's your turn when effects add to this Digimon's Dissolution card? This Digimon may Digivolve into Regulusmon in the hand or trash with a Dissolution cost reduced by 1. Oh my god, it's so good. You only need to see this line. Your opponent gives you, they have to give you at least 1 memory. You Digivolve this guy, tuck a source. This effect, you tuck something, so now you get to Digivolve into Regulusmon from the trash. The Regulusmon now lets you put 5 more sources. That's going to be 7 sources underneath the Regulusmon. It's going to have Raid and then the plethora of other effects, and your Regulusmon is going to let you attack at the end of the turn. A lot of cycle. Going to be interesting to see how people build the deck with a low to the ground kind of mill engine, I would imagine. Like I said, all the Dark Masters coming into play here. We do have the Magnetitramon. I do want to touch on this one being a level 7. Magnetitramon, it is a 14 play cost, 14,000 DP. Very strong. It's a Rock Dragon Liberator. Being a Rock Dragon is a little interesting. I've seen on Discords already people talking about how this guy could be abused in the other Dragon Elemental deck, which don't do that. But it probably is pretty crazy. While you have close, you can warp this on top of your Proganamon level 5 for a cost of 6, which is really, really good. So it's really just another level 6 Digimon in the deck. You can go on top of your level 6 for 4 costs if you need to. It has Fragment 3 when Digivolve when attacking by trashing 3 mineral or rock trait cards from any of your Digimon's Dissolution cards. Elite one of your opponent's Digimon and trash your top security. It's not once per turn. It's not once per turn. That is so good. Just Digivolve. Trash 3. Trash the security, delete their Digimon, so good. Attack, do it again, gonna be amazing. And then it keeps getting better. When digivolving, when attacking, this one is once per turn. By placing 3 mineral or rock trait cards from your trash as Digimon's bottom dishes cards, it unsuspends. So what you do, you can digivolve, trash them, pop, trash the security, swing, use that now once per turn when attacking to place 3, and now use your when attacking effect again to trash 3 and do it all over again. This is going to be scary. I'm super excited about it. I love the rock deck, and I'm glad that it's finally getting probably the last end of support that we'll probably see for it for a long time. And the payoff has been amazing because Magnetic Dramon does look to be really, really cool. The new Pyramidimon, a whole line going through all of those. Really, really cool. I think I do want to touch on the Cometmon being the main level 5 for the new Appmon deck. You can see here, really, really cool. It has collision. You can App Fusion with Warpmon and Weather Dramon, which is really cool. Collision, on play when digivolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand or this Digimon's Digivolution cards. You may link, 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand or this Digimon Digivolution cards to this Digimon without paying the cost. Really, really good. Hard play it or digivolve it. Get a card from its sources or from your hand, put underneath it, and then it says all turns, once per turn. When effects trash any of this Digimon's link cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 8,000 DP for the turn. That's pretty good. Minus 8,000 DP is so good. And then it has the link cost of 3, and then all turns, once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area by trashing one of its link cards, it doesn't leave. So what happens is that is your protection for your new level 6 Digimon, which is absolutely insane. And then you could just trash the sources to keep it alive, and this guy will now pop off in your... Oh my god, it's just so good. This combo is amazing, so good. The Warpmon is good, just being able to get played out of security, being a blocker, and it also lets you give you protection by trashing a link card. And you get protection from digivolving effects. Really, really good. We see the Kabimon here when attacking. You trash one of its link cards to digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So good. And then play it from security. So we see some kind of security control shenanigans going on. We also have the Warudamon. We've seen her before. I talked about her. Super good. When the Digimon gets linked, you may suspend one of your opponent's Digimon tamers and it can't unsuspend. Really, really strong. And all of these are just so generic. I like the link decks. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on the link cards in the game, but they're all so generic and they're so good. You could really make some really unique, cool decks, and I really hope that, you know, people start latching onto the link cards because I think they're really slept on, not appreciated enough by the community. I never see a ton of people playing it. I think only 2 people at our car shop even have the deck built, that being myself and someone else included. I let someone else play with mine, to be honest, but link cards are really amazing, y'all, and I think that we're really missing out on a cool new aspect of the game by not latching onto these cards and making them work, because I do think they're very, very powerful. I do have to touch on Quartzmon. Like I said, this is one of my favorite Digimon in the entire series. It is the Quartzmon Ace. Overflow -5, which is unfortunate. 9 play costs, 15,000 DP. Digivolves for 5 on your level 6 green or black Digimon, very generic. And while you have a Ryoma in play, you can Digivolve for 7 costs on an Ostamon just by having a Ryoma in play, which is really, really good here because now if you don't have the Quartzmon in your hand when you initially Digivolve into your Ostamon in the back, you don't feel so bad about it. But even now, if you do have the Ostamon and you do get to do your shenanigans from warping Psychmon into Ostamon and now Ostamon into Quartzmon, you're not missing out on that play, which is really, really good. And it says, on play when Digivolving, to suspend all other Digimon and Tamers. Such a good effect. I love this card. Suspend them all. Everything else gets suspended other than this card. When Digivolving, when attacking once per turn, delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Now, this is not... You have to do this. This is not a May, so you do have to delete your opponent's suspended Digimon, so you do have to make a target if there is one on the board, which can be a little unfortunate in some instances, but just be aware of that. This one is forced to do it, and that kind of makes sense where, like, Quartzmon isn't, like, controllable, and that's kind of the issue with Quartzmon going on a rampage. So it kind of makes sense here, and it says all turns other than this Digimon, no Digimon or Tamers can unsuspend in the unsuspend phase. So this Quartzmon isn't as good of a blanket you can't unsuspend because this one only touches you during the unsuspend phase. So if your opponent does have an effect that says when Digivolving unsuspend or play a Tamer unsuspend, I'm looking at you, O-Force, they can do those things now. So this Quartzmon is not as powerful as the original Quartzmon, but just having the ace mechanic of this card is really, really good. And I can't wait to play this in my, save trait Quartzmon deck, and then also building my like kind of Quartzmon Turbo toolbox deck that I have as well. This is going to be a nice addition for me, and I hope you guys are excited to see it as well. Now, coming up, we've seen all of these Link monsters here. I do want to touch on the new Ostama, or the Psychmon here. It just says, by trashing one card but saving in its text from your hand, draw one, and suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Really, really good. Start with the main phase, trash, draw, suspend. On deletion, save. It has Digicross, and it also has Piercing. So now, this was something that Quartzmon was missing. Now your Quartzmon having Piercing makes it so much better being able to swing through. Even on our Quartzmon, we swing now, the old one, get the Piercing, trash the security. If they don't have a check left, now you can just win the game. Really, really good. Just a generic level 2 in save text, costs a 0. Or if you don't play it in any save deck, you are going to have to pay 1 for a really, really good card. And I don't see... There it is. Yeah, here's the Ostamon. Now, we know Psychmon warps in the Ostamon. There's not a level 4 technically for him. You can go on top of your Psychmon for a cost of 5. Level 4 with save in its text. Very specific here. They wanted you not to be able to, abuse the old Psychmons. So it has to be the Psychmons that have save. For a cost of 3, which is pretty good. And this guy has Fortitude. So if they do end up getting rid of this Ostamon, you're going to be able to play it back and get this very powerful on-play effect. It says on-play when digivolving. You may play one play cost 4 or lower card with saving its text from under your tamers without paying the cost. There's so many good ones, including your Psychmon, which is really, really good if you really needed to. It is another instance of Piercing, which I understand they just wanted to make sure you had it in the deck. I'm not too upset about that. I know a lot of people get annoyed when they do reprint like the same inheritable in cards. But one thing to note is that this Quartzmon has 0 save on the text. That can be an issue on certain parts of the cards in the synergy of the deck. But I did want to point this out that this card does not have save anywhere in the text, which is a little unfortunate. Now, you can see here, the Lucamon support, we're touching back on some other cards. Now, we did get another Myotismon, and we had Venom and Malomyotismon, right? Pick your favorite. They're both really, really good. This is a 3-color Myotismon. Amazing. Super cool art. Really, really cool Malomyotismon. Very powerful card. 14 play cost, 14,000 DP. Red, purple, blue. Digivolve for 6 on top of level 5. Or if you have a Myotismon, it's only going to cost you 5. So if it's costing us 5, we're going to want a really good fit, right? It has the same trash main. So really, really good being able to put both of these cards in your Myotismon decks. By deleting 2 of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Myotismon in their text, you can play this card reduced by 11. So this one would only cost you 3 if you're able to delete 2 of them. So being kind of an upgraded version of the other one. But you do have to delete 2. It doesn't say up to 2. You have to have 2 level 5s. And you can play him for 3. On play, when Digivolving, when attacking, it is once per turn. Delete 2 other unsuspended Digimon. So any of your opponent's Digimon that are still unsuspended, you hard play this baby down. You're going to blow 2 of them really, really strong. And then all turns once per turn, when any of your other Digimon or tamers are deleted, trash your opponent's top security card and return one of their Digimon with the lowest DP to the bottom of the deck. So now, if you can't get around the deletion by deleting the other suspended, you can just put something that's the lowest at the bottom of the deck, and you get the trash of security. I am very excited for my Otismon. If you can't tell, I'm building, I think, 6 different decks from this set. Obviously, most of those decks I already have cores of. The only one that is going to be new that is different for me is going to be the new Link deck. I am going to build its own kind of version of that deck. But everything else I'm building from the set already has some kind of core built around it that I am really, really excited to do. And then I have to end the video with the best card I've been waiting for 3 years now, and it is Blackwood Greymon Ace. This card looks sick. I love the art. He's got all these different Digimon on the bottom. Who's that down there? It looks like Metal Garurumon he's standing on top of. Maybe a Syndromon or some angel down there too. Everybody just shakes in the path of Blackwood Greymon. He is such a cool Digimon. I love this alternate double star art for him. 7 play costs, Digivolves for 4 on your level 5, black or red. Really, really good. 12,000 DP, which is a little low probably for what I was thinking he would be, but really, really good. It is a blast counter Digivolve or hand counter blast Digivolve, which is obviously amazing. He has raid, reboot, and blocker. The raid, reboot, blocker part is really good. All the good are triple R. He has a triple R going on, R cubed, whatever you want to say. Raid, reboot, blocker. So good being able to raid into a Digimon, be able to restand to block something else. Going to be amazing. I got some really cool tech cards I want to mess around with this guy in since he already has the reboot. On play, when Digivolve, delete when your opponent's play cost 7 or lower Digimon or Tamers. Now, this one is very different from the original Blackwood Greymon because the old Blackwood Greymon says play cost 6 or lower, and that could be any combination of Digimon or Tamers. Now, this Blackwood Greymon Ace is much more specific because it can only be one of those cards. Now, you get to go up in the play cost being a play cost 7, but I am kind of sad to see that it is not a combination of any of that play cost. It has to be one or the other. I would have rather had been more flexible and them said 6 and keep it the same way, but they wanted to make it a little different. Now you can blast, destroy other blast Digivolve Digimon that are play cost at 7, which is really relevant, but very interesting that they chose to make it only pick one that is play cost of 7. Whichever thing you pick, that if it's play cost 7, blow it up. And then it just says, all turns while your opponent has a Digimon with 13,000 more DP, your opponent's Digimon effects don't affect this Digimon. And it gets 3,000 DP. So if they have something that is bigger than Blackwood Greymon Ace, Blackwood Greymon Ace sees that, he gets stronger, and he's ready to fight them, boosting him up to 15,000. Now, they did that very specifically because he's not 16,000, right? They wanted him to not be 16,000. That makes a lot of sense in the lore about the certain Digimon that he wasn't able to beat, and not being strong to do that since most of those Digimon are 16,000 DP that they have in the card game now. But really, really good. This is a blanket effect, so once your opponent does play down that Digimon, even if they have an effect that says, target Blackwood Greymon, delete it, well, that's not how that works, right? As soon as they play that Digimon, static effects like this will come out of play first, so your Blackwood Greymon will now be protected as soon as something goes above 13,000 DP, which is a lot for your opponent to play around if they do want to get around the Blackwood Greymon Ace. I just don't like how generic the card is. I think a lot of people are going to be playing Blackwood Greymon Ace, but I have been waiting for it forever, but at least he will get his time to shine. Hopefully it doesn't get him hit again, but to be honest, even his normal alt art is insanely sick. So cool. I love Blackwood Greymon. Obviously, you can tell by the arts that I have for my channel that he is one of my favorite Digimon. I can't wait for this set. I'm super excited about it. I will work on doing some deck profile videos once I know that all the cards are out. I think we're still missing a couple. This could be the full set. I'm not entirely sure, but I am definitely going to make a lot of Digimon deck profiles for the set. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave in the comments down below what archetype are you most excited for in this set. Are you super hyped to start playing with all these bad guy cards? I know I am because they are a lot of my favorite archetypes, and this is the set I've been most excited about probably for the last 2 years in Digimon. Not that I haven't been excited for other sets, but this one has my favorite Digimon in it, and that being, nope, not you, Creepymon, Blackwood Greymon Ace, and I can't wait to play with this Digimon. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Sinister Gaming, peace.